Oh, yeah, fam. Oh, man, listen. Power Book 2 Ghosts, Episode 8. Crazy, family. Let's get into it. It's your man, VACAY-J. Let's break it down. You already know. If you're new, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Absolutely like. Comment below. Let's get into it and break it down. Tariq is in court, as we know, right? Sullivan's going in. Of course, she's the prosecution going after Tariq, saying that, yeah, he looks like a kid, but definitely he is. It's possible that he can definitely do all this. He has motive and everything. And, McLean is like, yeah, did you give her a playbook? Because, we know Sachs is sleeping with Sullivan, right? So she's going in, talking to the jury, saying that definitely he's guilty, and they're going to prove that he's guilty or whatever the case is, right? Of course. We got Sister Girl. I love her facial expressions, boy. She's telling everything with her facial expressions. Now it's McLean's turn, and he's like, yeah, Sullivan is saying that I'm going to tell you a story, but I'm going to give you the facts. The facts is that, Tariq is an honor student, one of the top students in his class in canonical studies, and he's also a tutor as well. There's no way for him to do all this. Yes, he may have known the professor or whatever, but it doesn't prove that he was the one that actually took Professor Jabari Reynolds out, nor Ramirez. So, McLean is going in. He's definitely doing his thing. Salute to Method Man. But Sister Girl, her face is present. She's like, nah, he couldn't have done it, right? That's her face. Nah, Tariq couldn't have done this. He's an honor student and all that. Nah, her facial expressions are funny as heck, right? So, McLean is going in. He said, I'm going to prove today that, my client is innocent. And he does this thing, right? Definitely lays down his spiel about, making sure that they know that Tariq is definitely a good kid and he couldn't possibly murder, the professor nor Ramirez, okay? So, yeah, they go in this court case and definitely, it's believable that Tariq didn't do it. But, of course, this is only the beginning. This is day one. And Tariq knows that. So it's going to be a long journey. But, Sullivan, she's pretty slick with it. She's real slick with how she's talking about Tariq. But we're going to see. We're going to see how this thing turns out. We see a lot of people in the court, but they say that they have, a recording. And McLean's like, we didn't know about this recording, a recording going against our client. We need time to cross-examine. He's like, okay, you can get the recording, but, this is only for your ears, not your clients. He's like, of course, of course. Now we got Effie and Braden, and they're going to one of Braden's boys, who is like this real janky, supplier, right? So they know each other. And Effie, she is all about her business, man. That's why I like Effie. Effie is just a ride or die. She's like, all right, can we get to the business right now? He's like, okay, yeah, okay. So he pulls out the product. She definitely tries to, get a little taste or whatever, just to make sure, because he's like, yeah, I got this, but I don't have enough, da, da, da. And she's like, no, nope, that's not it. Stepped on, right? So Braden is like, dang, man. And she's like, nah, we have, high quality clients and they don't want none of that product right there. Of course, Braden's like, dang, the guy walks out or whatever, so now they can't get any products. So, of course, Braden's like, yo, what we going to do? Because that was like the only person I know that could possibly give it to us. She's like, we'll do what we got to do and find, something better, because that stuff, Tariq's going to be mad because the stuff is not good. Meanwhile, they're still getting orders and they got stuff on back orders on their phones. Now, back in the courtroom, we see, the estate lawyer, and Tariq is like, yo, is it your job to follow me too? And the estate lawyer tells Tariq, hey, listen, because everything that's going down, yeah, Yaz now has a family, a good family that she likes, that we're going to allow them to adopt her. And at the same time, we're going to change her last name. And just to make sure nobody can follow it, just in case, this is going bad. And he's like, my father set this up all this time. And the guy's just like, So we see here, it's a possibility that Ghost may still be alive, and he's telling this guy what to do, because how would James St. Patrick know to have these measures in place, right? How would he know? So we have, of course, McLean, and he's like, yeah, I need my money. Like, what's going on with the money? Like, listen, either you get my money at this period of time, or I'm gonna let one of these regular guys go ahead and get you 25 to life on this one, right? So we've seen that in the trailer. So Tariq has a lot to deal with. He has a lot riding on his shoulders with Yaz and this case. Meanwhile, Monet is looking for Kane, looking for everybody, and going to Diana. It's like, man, that's her arch enemy. Even though that's her daughter, she's like, I don't know where they at. I don't know what's going on. Like, why are you coming to me? They don't tell me anything, right? Meanwhile, Monet is getting, messages, and her phone keeps buzzing and all of that. And Diana's like, what's going on? And she's like, nothing. But you know what? You need to tell me everything. We need to stick together, right? So Monet's trying to keep her in the pocket, but she's getting a message from Dante on some like, yo, we need to talk. And she's like, who's that? She's like, well, that's the agent. She's lying to Diana. That's the agent, for Zeke, da-da-da-da-da. Of course, Diana does not believe her at all. You know what I'm saying? What reason should she believe her, right? So she gets on the phone with Dante Spears, and this dude, man, this dude is in love. This dude went ahead and bought this big dookie blue diamond carriage. I mean, this joint gotta be like $500,000. So she's on the phone like, listen, Dante, you gotta stop blowing up my phone. You gotta stop doing this and that. And she says his name, Dante. Yeah, Diana's right at the door being nosy. Like, Dante, huh? That's who D is, huh? So he's on the phone, and guess who just barges into the room with his head like a little kid? Kane. He's like, yo, everything's ready. We ready to go. And Mecca'S like, get out of here. Like, you see him on the phone, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how parents do when we was kids? Yo, you see him on the phone, right? So Monet is like, listen, Dante, this is over. You think I'm still a broke girl? Listen, it's over. Stop calling my phone. You got to stop calling my phone. So Diana hears all this, right? And of course, you know what Diana's going to do next. Now, we got poor Lauren, right? Poor Lauren. She's with Sullivan and her parents, and she's still trying to back out of testifying, against Tariq. And then we got Lauren's mom. What's going on, Amber? I know Amber. What's going on, Amber? All right. She's doing her thing. And her dad is there. And, they're just discussing the case. And she's like, yeah, you can't get out of this because you got caught with drugs. So you got to comply. And you got to do what you got to do, to clear your name. And again, Lauren is so afraid. She doesn't want to do this. She didn't want to get involved. It's not even her fault. Like Professor Milgram really like manipulated her to do this. But her parents are just like, yo, we got to follow the law. We got to follow what needs to be done. And she's still like, you sure I can't get out of this one? You sure I can't get out? And Sullivan's like, nope, you can't get out. By law, you signed the paper. This is what it is. So, this is what's going to have to go down. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you don't read your contracts and read paperwork, right? So now, of course, Diana is on a mission. Now she's going through her mommy Monet's room, looking through drawers. I mean, this girl, she is like, okay, that's his name, Dante. I'm going to find out. She's going through drawers. She's going through dresser drawers. She's doing she is really trying to look for everything. She waited for her to leave. So, of course, she's going to go through all her stuff. I mean, she's looking under the bed. What you looking for, Diana? What do you like? She got her head under the bed. Goes into the closet, right? I mean, she is going through everything. And she finds a box. She goes through her shoe boxes and all of that, right? So she finds a box, and in the box, there's a Bible, right? And in this Bible, and let's talk about where it's coming from. The Bible's from Wilmington Regional Hospital, okay? And she goes through the Bible. She looks through the Bible. And what does she find? She finds a picture of a baby. And it's probably in the book of Ezekiel, right? Yep, it's in the book of Ezekiel. And guess who that baby is? Ezekiel Cross. Probably under the same scripture that's on Mecca'S arm. Right, so she puts two and two together, the baby, Wilmington Regional Hospital. Diana is just putting these dots together, crossing those eyes. What, man? She goes ahead and she calls Wilmington Hospital looking for the birth certificate of Ezekiel Cross. But she's looking for the year under it. The year is like 2000. 9 or something like that. So now we cut to Tariq. They came back from court. They're like, how'd it go? He's like, too early to tell, and everything else like that. What happened with the product? And of course, Effie's just like, yeah, the product was stepped on. Now we can't use it. And, Brady's just like, well, do you have any better ideas or anything like that? So, of course, Tariq has been thinking about it. He says, yeah, I think we got I got a plan, but I think we got to involve the Tejadas, right? So Tariq gives Monet a call. And Kane is like, nah, forget that kid. And she's like, yeah, forget him. But guess what? We need him right now, right? Because we have no other option. We don't have no supply. We don't got no money. We got to do what we got to do. So you know what? Put all that aside. Let me see what's going on with Tariq. So she gets on the phone with Tariq. Of course, Tariq is like, yo, we need to meet up. Got a plan because I know we both need what we need. So they meet up at the spot. Tariq goes in the spot. And it's a little meeting spot, right? He got to pay off the cashier or whatever. So they go into the spot. And this is Tariq right here. We didn't know who it was, but this is Tariq. And they sit down and they talk in his back room, right? Talk in his back room. You got Braden, Effie, Monet, Kane. They all sitting down. So Tariq is basically like, yo, the best way to do this is to basically rob the Connect. And Kane is just like, rob the Connect? Are you crazy? Like, how we going to do that? Like, that's impossible. He got tight security. And Tariq is like, yo, I'm banking on that. I hope it does go down like that. We're going to make it look like, basically, we're going to set up GTG to go in there and definitely rob the hangar and get the stash and get all the product or whatever. So, of course, Kane is trying to shoot it down, but he's saying, listen, everybody knows what they have to do. And as long as we do this, we're going to make it happen. So Monet is like, yo, how do you know that we can get this thing done? And Tariq is like, because I'm not doing it by myself. So if everybody plays their position, then we can make this thing happen. So it sounds like a good plan. Monet, she's like, I'm with it. We need the money. We need the product. We need to do whatever we got to do. But shout out to Tariq, man. He is handling this like a boss, like Ghost, man. Like he is like bringing everybody together, putting all those differences aside so they can all get the money. You know what I'm saying? Effie looking at Kane like, man, this guy is shady, but she knows she got to play her position. So Kane is like, yeah, let me talk to Drew about this, right? So, of course, Drew is like, heck nah, I'm not trying to rob the Connect. I'm not trying to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And Kane is just like, yeah, I knew you was going to say that, but this is what we got to do, man. We got to keep, Poppy out of this and Diana out of this, but I believe this can go down. You can finally get at little guap. I'll set it up. And basically, I'll take the shot. And he's like, nah, I want to do it personally. You know what I'm saying? I want to do it personally and get at little guap. So he's like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll set it up. We'll set it up. And you just got to stick to the plan. And you go ahead and take out little guap, right? So little guap's getting set up to be taken out by these two. But yeah, Drew definitely wants to be the one to take out little guap, right? So they're like, yeah, Monet, you got to distract, Lorenzo. So everybody has to distract everybody. And we'll get Tariq to distract Diana. So these two will stay out of it and we can get this thing done. Of course, Monet is just reluctant to even do that, but she knows she has to do what she has to do. Tariq messages Diana, say, hey, be good to see a familiar face, a friendly face at court. Can you come through? So Tariq goes to McLean. And, he's just like, yeah, I got a recording, of you and someone else. And, legally, I can't play this because if I do, I could be disbarred or whatever. So Tariq tries to listen to it. He's like, nah, you can't, you can't. But you know what? I'm not allowed to play this for you, and I'm not going to play it for you. But I do have to go take care of some dinner reservations. And Tariq is just like, can't you take care of that later, after this and that? So McLean gives him a look like, I'm going to take care of these reservations. And he's like, oh, okay. So he leaves the room. Tariq goes around his desk to listen to that recording. So he starts to listen to the recording. And man, listen, it's a recording, of course, of your girl, Lauren, right? Lauren talking to him in the apartment, asking him about the novel and whether it was a black guy or a white guy and everything else like that. And Tariq acknowledging that the novel was not about a white guy. It was about a black guy. Him just basically acknowledging that he knew about the novel, which is motive for him to take out Jabari Reynolds. So, of course, Tariq is upset. He's like, man, I gotta go. Sax comes behind him and is like, yeah, I overheard you hearing, the recording. He's like, listen, I don't want you to do anything St. Patricky, right? Like, I don't want you to take anybody out. And it's that, the third. And he's like, how could she do this? And then he messes up. He really goes in and is like, yeah, listen, Carrie Milgram. And he's like, what about Carrie Milgram? Carrie Milgram manipulated her into doing this because she got caught with drugs. And they basically made her do it. So he's like, listen, I don't want you to stay away from, Milgram and Lauren. He's like, how can I do that, man? I'm going to see them in class tomorrow morning. I got to go to class. So now Sax, he's like, dang, he messed up. He gave a little bit too much information. Now he's with your girl Sullivan, right? So, it's kind of awkward of what's going on. He really feels her, but she doesn't really feel him. So they're talking, and, they get to talking, and it comes down to him basically kind of telling her that, yeah, Tariq heard that recording. Now, legally, they weren't supposed to do that. So she's like, listen, I'm going to tell the judge and have you guys disbarred. And he was like, listen, I didn't play the tape for him, right? So now he's trying to weasel his way out of it. So she's like, listen, is Lauren in danger? I need to know if my witness is in danger. She starts going in on it. He's like, I can't legally tell you that, but I didn't play any tape for him, anything like that. He's like, come on, Lauren is not going to be in danger. She's definitely not going to be in danger. She's like, you know what, get out, right? So basically he didn't tell her, but she figured it out, kicked him out and said, get out of here. I mean, Sax, he messing up like all the way. Like this dude always messing up. So she's trying to call now Professor Milgram, right, to get to Lauren because they got to get Lauren in witness protection. Now, Professor Milgram, she's in class, she's teaching, they're talking about the truth. This is funny how they're talking about the truth. There's a whole bunch of lies going on, right? So they're going in on the subject and everything. Meanwhile, Tariq is in class, and obviously he's looking for Lauren, but she's not there, right? She's not there at all. So they get to talking about the truth and what it's all about, what it means and everything. But Tariq, again, he's not interested in this subject. He don't care about none of this stuff. He's looking at Professor Milgram like, you shady and the whole nine, and Shady McGrady, right? Super shady Milgram. And of course, light-skinned Keisha was good, Brashinda, and she's going in about the truth and, how people don't tell the truth and this, that, and the third, right? So, of course, Rashad Tate, he's in there. He's weighing in. And, the other guy's like, yeah, people who lie always lying about the truth. And Brashinda's like, listen, I'm on my mental health thing right now, so I'm going to refrain from messing up your mental health. Right? So here comes Tariq. He's like, let me get out of here. Because he's looking for Lauren. And, of course, Rashad Tate is going in on all of that, right? So finally, Milgram picks up the phone, talks to Sullivan, and Sullivan's like, hey, listen, Lauren's life may be in danger. The lawyers played the recording of Lauren, capturing Tariq, admitting that he knew about the novel. So Lauren may be in danger. You got to protect her. And she's like, oh, man, that's why she's not in class right now. So she hangs up. And, of course, Sullivan is just like, man, we could lose our witness, and this could be definitely detrimental to the case, right? So, Milgram realizes it and leaves the classroom. So she goes to Lauren's room. Lauren Baldwin, right? Goes to her room to check her out. Guess who's in there? Your boy Tariq is in her room. She's like, oh, you scared me? You scared me? What are you doing here? And he's like, I'm doing the same thing you're doing here. We're here for Lauren's safety, right? And he basically goes in like, how could you do that? How could you manipulate her into doing this and that? And she's like, well, she got caught. And she's like, yo, it was just a couple pills. Like, you willing to put her life in danger for a couple of pills? Are you serious just to save your name? He's like, you know what? You've been lying all this time. Like, how about you lie this time for a good reason? You say that, you're here to protect the students. I remember you telling me that, but it doesn't look like you're protecting the students right now, and you need to be, you need to go up there on the stand instead of Lauren, because if Lauren goes on the stand, her life definitely could be in danger. If you say that you care about, the students, then you would get on the stand. She's like, well, if I do that, then definitely, it would go against you, and she's like, well, he keeps going like, you know what, you manipulated her in doing that, so you need to take the stand, protect Lauren, protect Lauren. That's how you protect her. So now we shoot back over to the Tejada family house. Who do we have? Lorenzo, Monet, they reminiscing about Coney Island when they were younger and when the kids were younger. And of course, Diana rolls up in there like, like she found out the truth. And she's like, man, listen. So, of course, Monet is trying to distract Lorenzo from the master plan that's going on. So they're just talking about this, that, and third, about how, they used to do this. And Lorenzo remembers all of that, right? Innocent Lorenzo, poor Lorenzo. So he leaves, go get the car, and Diana's like, listen, we need to talk. And Monet's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. There's nothing we need to talk about. And she waves her off, and Diana's like, all right. But that gives Monet suspicion. So before she leaves to go to Coney Island, she starts going through Diana's stuff. Diana says she's going to go to Zeke's game, but we know Diana's going to Tariq's case. He's going to the court. So she finds some stuff in Diana's drawer, right? So she knows what's going on with Diana and possibly Tariq. So now we at the courthouse, and Milgram is talking to Sullivan, and she's like, well, Lauren can't take the stand. I actually know information that is, pertains to this case. And you know what? I'll take the stand, for Lauren. So she actually listened to Tariq to save Lauren because she realizes that she put Lauren in danger by manipulating her. So now Professor Milgram's doing the right thing. And Sullivan's like, yo, why didn't you tell me this since the beginning? Like, we could have been had you on the stand, So they go into the court, and now Milgram is on the stand. And your boy McClain is like, man, I can't wait to get up there to rip her a new one, right? So she's answering questions. Yeah, this, that, and the third. But McClain, now it's McClain's turn. And he is going in on her, boy. He's like, just to basically discredit everything that she's saying against Tariq. He's like, how many times did you have to lie about your relationship with Jabari Reynolds and your relationship with me? So he brings himself and says that, yeah, you was with me as well, right? And she admits to being with him, admits to being with Jabari. And he's like, how about your student, Zeke? You was with Zeke as well, weren't you? And she was like, yes, I was. And he's like, what are the rules, as far as the school's concerned? Yeah, if you sleep with a student, then you can basically have them do anything. And he basically breaks her down to the point that she almost cries. It's like, but you got caught out there. He ripped you a whole new one. So now we on Coney Island. We see Monet basically just distracting Lorenzo from the whole master plan. She doesn't want Lorenzo to find out that they are about to rob the Connect on the low. So he's like, what's the plan? What's the master plan long term? And she's like, right now, I just want to be with you, spend time with you in the whole nine. So she don't got no master plan for him at all. No master plan at all, long term or nothing. She's just distracting him. Now, Kane is with Mecca, cleaning the straps. And your boy Mecca, he's definitely upset about what's going on with Monet, how she don't want to talk to him. He's screaming on the chef, like, what are you doing back there? He's like, yeah, I'm going to go get the strap that you like. Goes to the closet. They go get the strap, and the power goes out, right? And he's like, oh, it's just the power went down. Hey, man, Mecca, did you pay your electric bill? What's going on? So he tells Chef to check it out. Chef is like, yo, Kane, that's you. And he's like, yo, did I ask Kane? So, he's mad. And Kane is like, yo, trouble in paradise? He's like, yeah, man, yeah. So finally, Mecca gets the call, and he's like, yo, we getting robbed. They trying to rob us. So, yeah, GTG rolled up on Mecca's spot, right? He's like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. So the dude that called him, they took him out. So now he's just hearing over the phone. The phone drops. And it's like, man, listen, they about to rob Mecca for everything. Kane, stone-faced, knows exactly what's going on. And he's just like, okay, it's on. It's going down. So they run up in the spot. GTG, they run up in the spot to do what they got to do, right? That's what it's all about. Of course, security is there. They're going back and forth with the straps and everything. Things are going down. So they look and they're looking for the stash, they're looking for all of that for the product, and they finally find something, right? They find some things in whole nine, right? More security comes through though and takes out a couple more GTG, right? So yeah, I mean it's going down. They going in, and yeah, these cats definitely, man, they set them up good, right? So they gave Mecca'S location, the hangar location, but they get the stuff. They go in there and they basically get what they need to get. Meanwhile, Kane, Stone Face, just playing his position, you know, and Mecca'S just like, yo, what's going on? What's wrong with you? He's like, nothing. He's like, nothing. He's like, nah, I can see it in your face. What's going on? And Kane's like, yo, this whole power outage thing is something that I did with GTG. It's like a play that I did on them. They probably trying to do that on you. You know what I'm saying? So he basically pinning everything on the GTG and Mecca not knowing anything. So they leave, right? And Kane makes sure that the door is unlocked, right? Is ajar, right? Make sure the door is like open so whoever needs to get in, Drew needs to get in and get whatever he got in his stash. So they're downstairs waiting for Mecca and the chef and Kane to leave. Your boy Brady's like, yeah, I need to get my mom's van back by 8 o'clock, okay? Can we do that? Braden is an idiot, right? So they in the car. Little Guap is in the car as well. Again, they setting up Little Guap to be taken out by Drew. And, Effie's in there. She's ready to play her part, do what she got to do. And then finally, Mecca, Kane, and the chef, they leave to go to the hangar. So now it's time for them to roll up in the spot. Your boy, Brayden gets out with his remote control and opens the door. He's like, automatic doors. And Effie's like, come on, man, just open the door. Like, for real. So she gets out. She's like, thanks, Mom. Like soccer mom. Thanks, Mom. It's crazy. So Drew gets out like, oh, man, I'm rolling with some idiots. Right? So Brayden goes in. Of course, he uses his privilege, and he's talking to the security guy. He's like, listen, man, when is this power grid going to go up? He's like, yeah, we're working on it. He's like, listen, I'm going to sue you guys because I'm losing hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm going to sue you guys, so you better go check it out. So he goes to check it out. Meanwhile, your girl Effie, Lil Guap, and Drew comes in. Now, Effie's part is to go to security and distract the security, right? So she goes down there and she's all dressed up like a little schoolgirl, right? And she runs to security like, yeah, something's going on with grandmother. I need you to come help. The power went down and something's wrong with her. And she's like, well, I got to go do it. And she's like, now, I need you to come down, right? So she gets security to follow her to the location. I mean, security, she's just like, oh, okay. Like she's shocked, like, oh, okay. So now the plan is in place. We got Drew and Little Guap rolling up the steps, right, to go to the stash, and you got Effie. Effie grabs security's keys, and she basically locks her in the room so the security can't get out. So now the plan is in place, and Effie got the keys. Little Guap and Drew is going upstairs to Mecca'S spot, right? So your boy Little Guap is like, yo, man, we down with each other, man. Let's put the beef aside. Gives us some money and some grills, whatever the case is. He's like, yo, I got your back up there. Little Guap is just trying to, secure his position to be part of whatever, but he has no clue he's being set up. So Drew's like, all right, man, appreciate that, da-da-da-da-da, right? Not knowing that he about to take Little Guap out. Little Guap has no idea that this plan is in place to take him out, right? So now we got Mecca and the crew, and they rolling up in the spot. They see what's going on. They're like, yeah, they took the stash, they took the product, and your boy said the wrong thing. Chef is like, yeah, this looks like GTG. And then, boom, something clicks in Mecca'S head like, okay, yeah, are you a genius on that? Is that your expert opinion? And he's really going in on Chef, boy. He's really upset with Chef. He's taking his anger out on Chef. But look at Kane. Kane is like, it worked. Like, I planted GTG in the head. So Mecca'S like, yo, Kane, stay here with everything else. I'm going hunting, right? So now the plan is in place, but Kane wasn't supposed to be at the hangar. Kane was supposed to go back to Mecca'S spot with Mecca just to make sure he's straight. So Drew was on the steps, and he pulls the strap out on Little Guap, He's like, yeah, man, did Kane put you up to this? And Drew was like, nah, this was all me right here. It was all me. So they get into a scuffle. They wrestling, they drop the strap, whatever, whatever. And it gets down to Drew, and he's like, Drew, it ain't in you, man. We've been here before. And Drew basically, let's just say, Lil Guap is not coming back for the next episode or the next season. All right. So now we see your girl Diana. She in the kitchen cooking up a storm, but she's calling Kane. She's calling Drew. She's like, where they at? Where they at? Because she don't know what's going on. She has no idea what's going on. So Kane sees that she's calling, right? He hangs up on her, but he acts like he's on the phone. And he acts like he's on the phone with Mecca in front of the other dude, right? The other goon. So he's like, oh, okay, all right, cool. All right, I'm coming right now, right? So he's acting like he's talking to Mecca so he can get up out of there and they won't suspect anything, right? So he's like, yo, who was that? He's like, yo, he called you? He's like, yeah, he just called for me. And Kane's just like, yo, just make sure everything is straight around here and make sure we account for everything that was lost, right? Kane is pretty slick, right? So now Drew gets to Mecca'S spot, right? So he finds the stash, he finds Mecca'S stash, and he's looking in the bag, and guess what he sees? He sees the ring that Mecca got for Monet. He's like, oh, wow, right? Again, that joint got to be $500,000 or even $1 million, right? So he hears somebody at the door. And he's like, what is that? Who is it? It's Chef. Chef came back, right, to get the straps, to get more straps or whatever. So, of course, Drew was like, oh, dang, somebody's here, so he gets his strap out. And he's like, yo, who could it be? Like, nobody was supposed to be there. Basically, nobody was supposed to be there. Kane was supposed to take care of that, but he got caught up, right? So, Drew messages Kane like, yo, someone's here. What the heck, man? What's going on? So you see your boy Chef going through everything, getting straps out of refrigerators. Like, there's straps everywhere all over the house. So Drew is just waiting in the wings like, man, let me dip up in here. So he dips up in the closet, and it's the armory, right? That's where more straps are at. So meanwhile, Kane finally gets back to Mecca'S spot, runs up in the building, the whole nine. Your boy Chef is about to go to the next closet to get more straps. And Kane's like, Chef, where you at? Where you at? He finally gets up there just in time. He had to run super fast. But Drew was ready. Drew was ready to just do whatever he needed to do to survive the situation. So Kane is like, hey, listen, Mecca told me to come with you to get the straps. And, Chef is like, yo, this is weird. He didn't tell me. And, Kane's just like, what? What are you doing? So he distracts Chef long enough for Drew to get away, to like walk behind Chef and get out of there. Man, if it wasn't for Kane, Drew would have been done for, or Chef would have been done for, either way. So he gets him, distracts him. Drew jumps in the car, tells Braden to drive off. He's like, yo, what happened to Little Guap? He's like, yo, just drive. Meanwhile, Effie goes through the bag, and yeah, she's looking at everything that they got, and they see that ring. But you know who's getting that ring, right? Yeah, your boy Tariq gave that ring to your boy McClain. And again, that joint got to be a couple mil right there. Not even $500,000. Got to be a couple mil. And he's like, yeah, whoever the lady is that was supposed to get this, she's going to be mad. So he's like, Tariq is like, yeah, whatever. So your boy McClain's like, yo, that was pretty clever. You getting, Milgram to take the stand. And Tariq is like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about, man. That wasn't me. And of course, McClain is like, yeah, I know the real deal. Like, yeah, it is what it is. He's like, yeah, all right. So you straight now, because now he can just go, sell that ring. Now he got his money. Now here we go. It's finally time for the family dinner. This is where it turns up. Monet, the plan went through. They got the product and everything. She played her part. So they're talking at the table as they usually do. And yeah, this is about to turn up like crazy, right? Diana cooked dinner, and they was asking where everybody was. She was like, where was everybody at? It's like, oh, we was doing this, we was doing that. Oh, we was at the game. We was at Zeke's game. Now, Zeke is there. And they're like, yeah, we didn't see you at the game. Drew's like, we didn't see you at the game. Kane's like, we didn't see you at the game. She's like, yeah, I was there, but, they didn't allow me to sit in the regular seats or whatever, right? So Zeke is like, yeah, we're going to take care of that, right? Right? So they don't know that their whole family is sitting right there with each other. Zeke has no idea what's really going on. And yeah, this like, she really is out for blood for Diana, for real. So that Kane is just like, yeah, your boy is about to go to jail and a whole nine. And she's like, no, he's not. It's not going down. And like, yeah, well, did you know that Kane is the one that put sugar in the product to mess up the product, so he can get in and become the connect? And he's like, what? He did what? Kane, you put sugar and messed up our business like that? And Lorenzo's like, really? Did you do that? Did you really do that just to get in? You messed up our business? And your boy Kane is like, word, it's like that, B? It's like that? You going in on me like that? And she's like, yep, I'm going in on you like that. So this is where it starts, right? And yeah, Monet is pissed off because she knew about it from Tariq, but she acted like she didn't know. So she's like, yo, how could you do this? You really did that? You really put sugar in our product and to mess up the business? Look, Lorenzo has no clue. Man, I feel sorry for Lorenzo. I really, really do. And Kane is like, yo, because you blocked me out. You blocked me out of everything. So I had to do what I had to do to get in position. So Drew was just like, oh, so you played me, huh? You played me too. And he's like, yeah, I did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I did. I played everybody, just so I can get a position, because you shouldn't be, the number two. I should be the number two. So he goes in on Drew and he's telling Lorenzo, like, yo, I should be number two. I don't know why. You think he's the plan man. I'm the plan man. And I'm the one in place right now that got you to connect. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dude that really got everything going, but now you got all the product that you need, right? So meanwhile, Drew is just looking like, man, listen, you see this guy right here, man? So he's like, yo, that's real shady, man. Like, for you to do that to our business, don't come for me, right? So Kane's just like, yeah, well, you know that Drew didn't take out his little homeboy, right? So Lorenzo's like, oh, so Everett is still with us, huh? You didn't take care of that like I told you to take care of that. And Zeke is like, take care of what? Take out my ball partner? Like, seriously? My teammate? Like, what's going on? And Kane's just like, yeah, see, checkmate, right? And Zeke is like, yo, I'm leaving. I don't even want to know what's going on. But Monet is like, yo, just stay. It's good for you. It's best for you to stay. It's best for you to stay. And Diana's like, yeah, it's best for you to stay, man, because you here with your family. You know what I'm saying? You need to stay right here, And then she's just like, yeah, well, there's a lot going on, and mommy got a plan to get you out of everything, with Zeke going pro and everything else like that. And Monet is not trying to have it. She's like, what? What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But I know that you are messing with Tariq and everything else like that. So she's down coming for Diana. And Kane is like, oh, you let Tariq hit? Man. Now let the battle begin. Here we go. Monet came for Diana, and now Diana's going in. So Diana goes to her poppy and says, I'm not the only one messing around with somebody I shouldn't be messing around with. So Monet is like, oh, shoot. She's like, what are you talking about? And she says, yeah, Ma, why don't you tell everybody how you messing around with a guy named Dante? Man, Monet jumps up from that seat. She is about to jump on Diana. And he's like, Lorenzo's like, what the heck? Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? She's like, yeah. Diana's like, yeah. Mommy is messing around with a guy named D. His name is Dante Spears and all this and that. The boy Lorenzo's face is like, what is going on? She's like, yeah, and Dante is Zeke's father. And Zeke is like, nah, that's not my father. That's not him. That's not him, right? He's not my father, Monet, right? Right? That's what you told me. That's not my father, right? Diana's like, boy, Dante, that's your father, and that's not your auntie. Monet is your mother. Oh, oh, shoot, she dropped it on him. He's like, what? What are you talking about? The look on Monet's face is priceless. Oh, my God. So your boy Lorenzo's like, what the heck is going on here? What is happening? Diana pulls out the receipts, man, and pulls out the birth certificate with Zeke's name, Monet's name, and Dante. Ah, dang. Drop the hammer. And Zeke is like, what? He is confused. You know Zeke. He like, what? What? I don't understand. I don't understand. And Monet is like, I'm going to kill you, girl, looking right at her. And he's like, yo, your birthday is not in 2002 or whatever. It's actually 1998. You're not 19, you're 24 years old. And he's looking at the birth certificate. It's like, nah, that's not right. That's not right. No, you're 20. Diana's like, you're really 24 years old. You're not 19 years old. Basically, Monet lied and said that, changed the date on your person, just told him a lie. This is when you were born. I don't know how she did that without the whole birth certificate thing for the school. She probably got a new birth certificate or a false birth certificate, right? We're going to figure that out. But, yeah, Kane is like, so I'm not the oldest? I'm not the oldest? He talking to Monet like, no, you're not the oldest. Yeah, Monet is your mother, and basically you're our brother. It's like, wow. And Zeke's face, the look on his face, priceless, right? And Drew was just like, what? Everybody's in shock. They're like, what is going on? And he's like, yo, I basically lied to the board, and I may not get drafted, and I didn't lie to them. You lied to them, Monet. It wasn't me. It was you. He's like, you basically messed up my whole career. So now Zeke is ineligible because his whole birth certificate, the whole thing is like false. Like he's not a teenager. He's actually 24 years old. Man, and we knew this, man. Like, the dude is a grown man. So he's like, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. So Monet tries to stop him. She turns around and says, I'm going to kill you. He's like, nah, you're not going to kill me. You've been lying to us all these years. I hope it was for a good reason. Man, Diana, she is cold-blooded, boy. She dropped a hammer on Monet. I mean, Monet's face, again, priceless. Look at her face. And poor Lorenzo, man. He's like, he can't believe it. After that whole Coney Island, reminiscing, she was lying, distracting him, and it all came back on Monet. She lost all respect from the family. Everybody looking at her like, I can't believe it, because nobody knew except for her and Dante the truth. And now the truth finally came out about Dante and Zeke all at the same time. They looking at her like, the gauntlet dropped on Monet's lie. And your boy Lorenzo, man, I feel bad for Lorenzo. He's like, you need to leave. And basically kicked her out. The whole family, destroyed. And again, I feel sorry for Lorenzo. I really do. Because he had no idea that all this time was living a lie with Monet. Crazy. So Monet is trying to call Zeke, trying to call him. He's like, my baby got to pick up. We know he ain't going to pick up. Come on. Your baby is not going to pick up. So she drives off. Meanwhile, your boy Mecca, he's cleaning up, going to the GTG spot, going hunting, as he says. And they didn't find the stash. They didn't find anything at the spot. He's like, okay, no problem. Now we just got to take care of the mole inside, right? So he looks at Kane. And he looks like he's walking over to Kane to take out Kane. He takes over the switchblade and he walks over to Kane like, yeah, we got to take out the mole right now. And, yeah, Chef is looking at Kane like, okay, well, Kane got to go out, right? Well, probably not, Chef, because your boy Mecca gave you a new necklace. It's a nice necklace, a little red necklace. And guess what, family? Guess we won't be seeing Chef in the next episode all the next season. Wow, right? Shocking. Wow. So again, while Kane was the one that should have been taken out, he manipulated Mecca to make him think that Chef was really the one that ratted on him. He's like, yeah, you never know people until you know people, right? Boy, your boy Kane is saved again. But again, Mecca's not going to take out Kane because he wants Kane to be part of the family. And he's letting Kane know, like, yo, I could have took you out, but I didn't. I believe Mecca knows the truth. Now, Professor Milgram, here we go. Professor Milgram's at the house. Again, her career is destroyed. Everything destroyed. Her credibility, her reputation, everything is destroyed at this point. She's drinking on some wine, and she gets a knock at the door, right? Guess who is? Yeah, it's your girl Monet, looking for Zeke. She says, I'm looking for Zeke. And Monet is telling her, like, yeah, I lost 2 lifetimes worth of my family right now. I lost everything. And Professor Milgram's trying to relate. She's like, yeah, I lost everything too. My career, my this, my that. And, you know, they kind of like talking on a common level. But she's like, oh, you lost everything because you was messing around with Zeke? And, you know, Monet says, as long as you're around, Zeke will never come back to me, right? So we see Professor Milgram just looking at her like, what's about to happen? And Monet, it looks like Monet's about to take her out, but they don't show anything after that, right? They don't show anything, man. Like, we going to find out. So now we back at the dorm. We got Effie. We got the 3 Musketeers. They're back together. And Braden is excited. You know, he's just amp about everything. They did a heist or whatever. And this was his first big heist. You know, everything went right. But Tariq, he ain't really, you know, excited about it all. But Braden's like, yeah, we did this. And I was turning in this. And Effie's like, listen, you was driving the speed limit. You ain't do none of that stuff, right? So, you know, Tariq is still down. Tells Braden to leave. So Braden and Effie start talking. She's like, yo, what's going on? What's wrong? He's like, yeah, you know, the case and everything. It's just things are not working out the way, you know, I wanted it to work out, but like it is what it is. I'm still going through this whole process, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. And, you know, she basically is there for him again, you know, just being a ride or die. And again, salute to Effie, man. I hope she doesn't betray him again, but right now she's definitely playing her position and she's being right by his side on some Bonnie and Clyde stuff, right? So now your boy Zeke, of course, shows up, and he's rolling up to Professor Milgram's spot. He walks in the door, and he looks shocked. Why does he look shocked? Because he sees some feet hanging from the kitchen, and he's just standing there. And it's Professor Milgram's outfit and her feet. And that is the end of episode 8. Wow, man, that was crazy intense. Definitely drop your comments below. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button, comment below. This one was crazy. We're going to break down during the week each and every point because this one was definitely intense. So you know what it is. It's your man, VACAY-J. I appreciate you for watching. Always appreciate you. And you know what it is. Until next time, salute.